Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer, the Freddie Mercury of board game review shows. Hello, my lovelies. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at my top 10 games of all time as of November 2018. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta tell you, I was a little hesitant, reluctant to even make this video because, frankly, I thought I'm pretty much just going to do the same games I did last year because I was thinking, have I played anything this year that I think would be top 10 material? And I gotta be honest, I don't know that I played anything in the last year that I would put in the top 10. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, but you know, there are some games I've played for a long time that I'm playing a lot, and there are some games on that list that I don't play as much. So I have shifted some things around, and some games have been excised, and I've had some games that have kind of lingered in the teens for a while, have now been introduced into the top 10 list. So I think it's going to be a fun list for everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, so many great games, and I love them. And I wish I've had people actually request that I do a top 100 list again, or even a top 30, but the fact of the matter is I just do not have the time. In fact, I feel so guilty right now doing this and doing my regular reviews when I should be reading and getting other stuff done. But you know what? I love games so much, and it kind of helps to keep me sane in this grad school world, so here I am doing this. So ladies and gentlemen, let me get started with my top 10 games of all time. Number 10 is a game that was on the list last year. It was my number 9 last year. It did slip 1 point. This is Secret Hitler. Secret Hitler is a fantastic game, a social deduction game. I love this game so much because every time I play it, my friends and I are always laughing. I've never played a game of this that fell flat when we got the rules right. But it's tremendous fun. I even was able to play a game of this with some of my classmates. One of my professors actually let me play this game. I'm not saying which professor because he told me not to, but he actually let me play a game of this with the class, and it was so much fun. Love this game. You're all trying to figure out who the bad guys are, and you don't know. Similar to the Resistance, but I think ultimately it's a better system, and certainly it's kind of the theme is a bit more fun and potentially offensive. So, but the reality is it's just a great game. So that is Secret Hitler. That is my number 10. My number 9 is 1775 Rebellion from Academy Games. Now, this is a game that actually did slip. It was in my number 8, but again, I pushed it down to 9 just because I haven't played it as much in the last year. In fact, I don't think I played it in the last year, and I want to get to the table again so much because I want to introduce it to some friends, and it is such an amazing game. American Revolution, but it's a very simple combat system. When I say simple, I mean elegant. It's an elegant combat system, and it's an elegant game. Area control, you move cubes on the board, but it's just fantastic. I just love 1775 so much, and really, really look forward to playing this game again with my friends. So that is 1775. That is my number 9 from Academy Games. My number 8, again, another game that slipped 1 point. This was my number 7 last year. This is Frederick. Frederick from Rio Grande Games. This is a game, of course, all about, it's a war game, but it's fairly abstract in combat in the sense that you play the game using playing cards. You have strengths and numbers assigned to your units, but you're playing cards essentially to add to your strength. So it's a very abstract combat. But what I like about this game is it really highlights the operational aspects of war. You're moving your armies around. You're trying to not get cut off from your supply line. You know, you're operating outside your own territories, and it's just a very fun game. It's a very fun game to play that does not. It doesn't focus on tactics. It celebrates operations, and I really like that. It's just a whole lot of fun. There's some sugar and spice in there with some of the event cards that happen, but really, there's a lot of strategy and a lot of there's some luck with the draw of the cards, of course. But it's a great game. I love Frederick. That is Frederick, my number 8 from Rio Grande Games. My number 7 is a game that I have been playing now for about 5 or 6 years. And it's a game that, again, this is one of the games that has been kind of hovering in my teens. And I played it again a few more times this year, and I remembered how much I love this game. And I'm like, why isn't this in my top 10 when I really think about it? This is Twilight Struggle from GMT Games. GMT Games created a masterpiece with this game. And, of course, it's cousins, 1989 and 1960. I'll put right there beside it. But really, it is Twilight Struggle that is just such a wonderful marriage of mechanics and theme. It's a history lesson that covers, of course, the whole Cold War, but it's also, I mean, when I think of a game that forces the player to make tough decisions, and tough decisions are the hallmark of great games, this does it better than any game out there, because every round, you're gonna screw yourself in the foot. You can't avoid it, but it's how to mitigate that, how to make that, as much as it can, work, if not for you, work not as much against you. It's so good. It's so fun, and I love it. As the historian in me loves it, and the gamer in me loves it. It's just really a super fun game, great two-player game. So that is Twilight Struggle, my number 7 from GMT Games. My number 6 is another game that was kind of off in the teens for a long time, but I've been playing it a lot this last year. I've actually played many games of it this last year because more expansions have been coming out, and I've been playing it every time an expansion comes out. I'll break it out and play it, and I'll play it some other times besides, just for fun. Partially because it's a good solo game, and if I'm alone and I just want to play something solo, which I don't do often, but I do occasionally, this is usually the first one I go to. That is Upper Deck's Legendary, a Marvel deck building game, right here. Legendary Marvel deck building game. Now, I'll tell you right now, if you'd asked me 9 times out of 10, what's the better game? Marvel Legendary or the Alien game? I'd probably say the Alien game. But again, I play Legendary Marvel so much more than Alien. I love Alien, but I don't know, something about the superheroes and the universe keeps me coming back, and I really enjoy the IP. I really have fun with it. And I'm constantly amazed with all the expansions how they keep the game fresh and new and innovative, and it's never the same game twice because you've got so much variety and so much to choose from. You can always, I mean, every single game, you buy just the core box and there's always going to be tremendous replay value. So I love this game. I think it is absolutely wonderful. I play it a lot, and I love it a lot. So that is my number 6. That is Legendary, a Marvel deck building game from Upper Deck. Okay, so my top 5. Again, you're probably bored to death because these haven't changed much in the last few years, but I'm going to hit them anyway. And my number 5, Fury of Dracula. I just received the new edition from WizKids. I have not yet played it. I hope to hurry and play that soon so I can get you a review on that. But the game is wonderful. Particularly, it was good, the second edition that I played. The third edition was even better, and I'm excited to see what the fourth edition brings to it. But the game is so much fun. It's this chase across Europe, 4 hunters going after Dracula. It's an all versus one game, and it's just amazingly fun. Every time I play this game, again, I've got a grin on my face, whether I'm the hunters or the Dracula. And I think the reason is, I love horror as a theme. I love horror books, I love horror movies, and I love horror games. And this, to me, encapsulates the theme so well. It encapsulates, I love the book Dracula, and it encapsulates it so well. I mean, it's kind of a sequel to it, but the feeling you get from it is so good. I love this game. I love being immersed in that. I love when the event cards come out and you don't know whether Dracula's going to get the event card or the hunters are going to get the event card. I love when Dracula can strike unexpectedly. And I love playing Dracula. I absolutely love playing Dracula because you have to have a very good strategy and you got to be one step ahead, and there's some fear in playing Dracula. At the same time, I love playing the hunters because I love the negotiation. Well, you look here, and you look here, and I'll go here, and I'll go here. And there's some really good negotiation that happens there. But at the same time, there's some fear because you don't know if Dracula's just going to jump out at you when you're not prepared to take him on, and he's going to strike. And it's a lot of fun. I love Fury of Dracula. Love it, love it, love it. I'm so happy it's back in print. So that is my number 5. That is Fury of Dracula from WizKids now. My number 4 is another great IP game. It is a game that is just tremendous fun. When they announced it, I thought, this looks like it's going to be an amazing game. And I played it, and it was an amazing game. This is Star Wars Rebellion. Of course, I love Star Wars, love the IP. I'm a kid of the 80s. What kid of the 80s didn't like Star Wars? Dumb ones. But I really enjoyed it. I really, really appreciated what they did and how they made the game asymmetrical and how they invoked so much of the Star Wars theme into the game. You know, I loved how they let you play in the Star Wars universe, but create your own adventure out of the events of the original trilogy, and you kind of make your own version of the Star Wars movies. And it's just so much fun. I absolutely loved it. And like I say, I love the fact that it's asymmetrical. The two sides are playing different games. You know, they got different objectives. They've got different strengths, and I really like that. I don't know how it could have worked, and I don't know if it would have been much fun if the sides were evenly matched doing the same thing. This needed to be a very smartly done asymmetrical game, and it is. Again, the caveat: if you buy the base game, you got to buy the expansion. The expansion is 100% necessary, in my opinion. It cleans up combat. Plus, you get a lot of other goodies, but it cleans up combat in a way that is absolutely necessary. And I would never play this game again without the expansion. So that is Star Wars Rebellion, my number 4 from Fantasy Flight Games. My number 3 game is a game that the company said they were going to send it out to me, and I was kind of reluctant because they said you really need 8 players to make it work. And so I was like, oh, okay. And so I kind of sat on it for a while, and then I finally got serious. Okay, let's get 8 people together. Let's play it. Let's knock this out. Let's see how it works. And it blew me away. And it's quickly become, obviously, one of my favorite games of all time. This is Captain Sonar, another game that every time I play it with my friends, I'm just laughing and laughing. First time we played this game, I think we played, we were there for about 2 hours, and we played, I think, 4 or 5 games. And as we walked out, we were all just, oh my, wow. I mean, we were in love with that game. We had so much fun with that game. And you're all, it's 4 versus 4. You have different stations. One of you is the captain, one of you is the radar guy, one of you is the engineer, one of you is the first officer. And you each have your specific duties in the game. And it's like Battleship on a much larger scale. You're hunting, you're trying to find the enemy submarine and blow them away. And it's an amazing experience. It's one of those games that just, I can't even describe the feeling of teamwork and camaraderie you get when, it's like, I guess it's like playing sports. I guess that's a good way to say it. When you're playing, football or soccer, and your team scores a point, you got that. Yeah, we did it together. We did it. You get that same kind of feeling when you land an attack on the enemy. You blow them up with a torpedo or a mine. You get that same sense of, yeah, we did it. And there's the teamwork and the camaraderie of this game is just so much fun, and I absolutely love Captain Sonar. So that is why it is my number 3. That is Captain Sonar from Asmodee. My number 2, again, another game that I love because of the theme. In fact, my number 2 is, as I've said this many times before, the most thematic game I have ever played. This is Battlestar Galactica, the board game. I love, love, love this game. I'm not going to go back and tell all the stories about it because I've told them 100 times. You can check my other videos and you can see exactly why I love it. But I will just say this. It is the best hidden traitor game I've ever played. It was the first, and it remains the best in my opinion. It's a cooperative game, except for that hidden traitor. You're all working together to get things done, but one guy's, maybe later 2 or 3 guys, are trying to screw everything up. And the paranoia that this game creates is unlike anything out there. Now, there are other games out there I like, The Resistance, Secret Hitler, as I mentioned, Shadows over Camelot, that do this and do it very well, but none does it as well as Battlestar Galactica. And again, it's incredibly thematic. I love the TV show, and it just brings a TV show to my table. I played this with a lot of people who were not even fans of the TV show that liked it as well. So I don't think you need to be a fan of the TV show to like the game. It is a fantastic game. This is Battlestar Galactica, my number 2. That's from Fantasy Flight Games. Finally, my number 1. I'm bored with myself saying how much I love this game. I just recently did my top 5 Fantasy Flight games, and of course this was on there as well as my number 1. Twilight Imperium 4th Edition. Twilight Imperium 4th Edition is a grand, sprawling space opera. Need I say more? It's got a war game. It's got tech trees. It's got economy and trade. It's got politics. You're voting on stuff. This is a game that's negotiation. It's got something for everybody. The only thing is it's a longer game, 6 to 8 hour game, which is going to turn off a lot of people I know. But man, if you've got the patience to learn it, and it's not hard to learn at all either, but if you've got the patience to play it, and you can get people together to play it, get it. Even if you only get 4 people to play, you can still have a fun game with 4 people, and it's a shorter game that way. But man, I love this game, and just once again, I need to beg, please, Fantasy Flight Games, more expansions for TI4. More expansions for Rebellion too, but really, we need expansions for TI4. We need the Distant Sun variant, and we just need more good stuff in this game. So please, 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 I've still got my TI3 stuff. I don't want to get rid of that until we get more TI4 stuff. So I'm begging you, please, Fantasy Flight Games, more TI4. Love TI4, my number 1 game of all time. That's from Fantasy Flight Games. Ladies and gentlemen, so again, that was my top 10 games of all time as of November 2018. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll keep playing, see if I can find something this next year that will dethrone some of the games from my top 10, and I'm very excited about that. So please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on the Twitter. Leave a comment for us on YouTube, Facebook, our website. We really appreciate that. And I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, why do I say we're the Freddie Mercury of board game review shows? Well, you will recall that the 8th studio album from Queen was called The Game.
Please somebody help me on my feet again, and I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band. God knows that I love to fight, but I don't ever win. It's a fine line to damnation, but God let me in.
Don't worry, kids, you'll be seeing my face again real soon.